wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test. To train them is my cause. I will travel across the land, searching far and wide. Teach Pokemon to understand the power that's inside. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all. Thank you, Satoshi Tajiri and Ken Sugimori. Appreciate you two very much for making that game. Whew. I love Pokemon. And I'm okay saying it now. Comfortable admitting my love for Pokemon. I had to hide that for a while. But the game dropped when I was like 8. My boy Chance Sanford, I remember going to his crib. We were in his driveway and he busted out the big Game Boy Pocket and he had Pokemon on that. I had to have it. Had to wait a little bit, but then got Pokemon Blue. Got right into it, man. Loved it. RPGs from there on out. And then eventually, of course, you get the trading card game coming out, and I brought that to school. This was in middle school. I remember the exact classroom I was in when I busted out the Pokemon starter pack out of my pocket. I thought I was going to be cool because Pokemon was popping. Like, if you really knew what was going on as a nerd. I was definitely a nerd, jock, like a bunch of stereotypes, whatever. Definitely didn't fit into one category. But I brought my Pokemon cards out, and I got shit immediately, loser, like all this shit. But then kids started taking them out on the playground. Then you had to worry about, the joke was, I'm going to steal your holographic Charizard, right? Or your holographs. So there'd be the kids sitting against a wall at recess with their binders of Pokemon cards. I still ran out, played, basketball, football, whatever, just beat the shit out of each other on the playground, whatever we do. But still stayed true to Pokemon, and I loved it. And so I kept going, played solid through Gen 4, and I could start naming Pokemon, so don't test me. I could get 151 of the original. Just from there, it gets a little dicey. But so all these cards coming out, and I was into the Star Wars cards too, and Magic, so I was just all the way into trading cards, and so Pokemon fit right into that. And started trying to play, like no one wanted to learn really. I played with my brothers a little bit, and we were into Pokemon together, so we'd start over every once in a while together and make it a whole thing. If like we were going on a trip, we'd bust out our Game Boys and start a game together and play along with each other and compete. My brothers and I loved the anime. I remember kids would come over, like we'd have to turn the VHS case around because there's just too many Pokemon tapes in there. That wasn't cool. I had to hide that I was a big Pokemon fan from my friends. My brothers and I, we fully embraced it amongst each other, but going outside the home with that was risky. You're running the risk of getting attacked severely if you admit that you're into Pokemon. But we loved the anime, and, so tried to get that however we could, too, on TV. I remember we didn't have cable at the first house, so we had the antenna, and I'd sit there and try to mess with it and, look at the TV and see if I could catch a signal. And we could get it without sound and be really scratchy and staticky, but just a little taste of Pokemon on TV. And then we got to the new house and dove right into anime because there's all those anime shows on cable, and Pokemon was getting hot, and then Digimon, Monster Rancher, Yu-Gi-Oh, Dragon Ball Z. And if my brothers weren't around and if no one was around, I'd watch a little bit of Sailor Moon. Just a little bit. Right? Because, I was like 10, and they really drew those anime chicks full bodied. You know what I mean? Or like just slim, thick, all the proportions that you want out of your, ideal cartoon woman. And dove right into the anime, and we got into all the little side games too. Pokemon Snap came out, and just because we love Pokemon so much, you had to get the perfect angle and capture that Pokemon and get the good score with that. So I know all the secret tricks and to get in the highest scores in that game. Of course, Pokemon Stadium, and that was a little bit like Smash Bros to us. So we play that as a battle game. Mario Kart, Super Smash Bros, you know, Pokemon Stadium. Not as much. You had to test it out. Played the Pokemon games through Gen 4, and then of course when Pokemon Go dropped, I had to get that. And I was out in LA at the time. I thought it was more progressive or liberal or be forward they or whatever these people call themselves, type people out there. You know, still got all that nerd bashing, etc. out there, just same as it is here in Wisconsin. Um, you know, love Pokemon Go, and it got me out in the public. You know, when I didn't want to go out in the public, it was a rough time for me. My girlfriend was running around with like as many people as she possibly could in LA, trying to sleep her way to the top anyway. So I was just trying to like walk it out, you know, and reconnect with Pokemon and those positive memories that I have from childhood. Pokemon's been there many times for me when I've been going through serious traumas, and just flip on a Game Boy and start a new game, start over, catch some Pokemon. You know, maybe I'm playing it with my brothers, maybe not. Just lock the door, make sure no one sees, and start playing Pokemon. My favorite is Blastoise. Of course, I kind of developed. At first it was Squirtle, but then I grew into Blastoise. I was thinking, can I wear this to work, or is that too violent? Like the cannon coming off of Blastoise? Would I get written up for that? I don't know. It's funny how Pokemon's worked its way into society. I remember when it was really popping and just going crazy when it first came out. You know, administrators were trying to ban Pokemon cards and the game at school. Ban a game. An E-rated for everyone game. Super racist, super classist, very ignorant, anti-different personality types and all that kind of stuff. Folks are going wild over those little gold-plated cards at Burger King, McDonald's when those came out, and it's gone up and down. Recently we have this movie Pikachu with Ryan Reynolds, and I don't know, that was all right. The original movies, of course, the anime type stuff is always gonna have a special place in my heart, but Pokemon will grow and it'll get even bigger, I'm sure. They'll come up with some even newer thing beyond Pokemon Go, which is revolutionary. Again, after the entirely revolutionary original game, changed the face of RPGs, made them into a pocket game. You ever met people that use Pokemon to describe different types of people? Look at that, it's the original Pokemon Blue. Like if somebody's drunk and they pass out on the sidewalk, especially if they're, you know, fat and all sweaty, some food all over them, I don't know. That's a Snorlax. A darty little mouse type person with a bubbly electric personality, that's a Pikachu. Or how about somebody who's young? Real green. That'd be a Bulbasaur. Bro at the gym. Just a Hitmonchan. And you go down to State Street, you might see a lot of Jinxes and Kadabras. I love Pokemon and the escape it's given me, and the fun times I've had with it, getting me out and about too. Can't say that about every video game, pretty much none of them. So again, thank you Pokemon creators and promoters and everyone that has not been a total asshole when I say that I enjoy Pokemon.